Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Don't mind that little noise. I just have to take some stuff because I didn't mention it in the last couple of shows, but I don't know what I did. Maybe it was probably when I was exercising. I jacked myself up at least a week ago. Because I don't know what it is, but it was weird because I work out and I feel fine. But then, and at this point, I don't know if you guys work out a lot, but I don't work out a ton, but I work out enough to at least, I work out like 3 times a week, just to kind of keep myself busy because I don't get out a lot because I don't have a car or anything like that. So I have my exercise machines and stuff. And like a week ago, I was just doing my workout as normal. And got done, finished up. Everything was fine. I woke up, and I don't know what the heck I did to myself, but right here in my back, like my upper back, holy crap, it hurts. And it's been like that for a good week now. And the thing is, you might just say, oh, well, maybe you're just sore. Maybe you're sore. Well, that's the thing. See, I've gotten to the point where I work out so often that I don't really get sore anymore. I mean, I get a little, like a tiny bit sore, but not a lot. Like I'm sore for like 10 minutes and then it's done. Um, but yeah, I woke up and it just hurt like really bad. And I was like, okay, maybe I pulled a muscle and didn't even realize it. Oh, hold on. Maybe I pulled a muscle and didn't even realize it. And yeah, I just figured it would go away eventually. Well, no, it's been a week and it's still there and it still hurts just as much. And then I thought, well, maybe I did something a little worse. So if it's like this again for the next few days, I'm probably gonna have to go see a doctor because that's not normal for me. And don't worry, I'm not taking any sort of illicit drugs. I'm taking my naproxen, which is just over-the-counter pain medication, and of course my oldie but goodie, my allergy relief medication. Because you all know me, even in the dead of winter, I still have allergies. So, yeah, Duel Links. I guess we're going to do a duel room today, because why not? And we'll see what kind of new decks you guys have. Any drugs that you know of? Probably. Naproxen is just Aleve. I'm sure you've seen the Aleve commercials on TV. It's the same thing. It's exactly what that is. And the other stuff I have is, what is it? Loratadine, which is basically Claritin. I'm sure you've seen the commercials for Claritin too. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. Nothing hardcore, just, yeah. I have to take Claritin, or my equivalent of it, every single frickin' day, sometimes twice a day. Because even in winter, I've complained about it many times, even in the winter here in South Texas, there's, you know, it's winter right now. We're in the middle of winter. And outside right now, it's like 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is pretty warm. You know. So, yeah, there's never any time within our year down here where there aren't flowers and butterflies and trees blooming, all this stuff. It just, that, you know, it's like a perennial summer. It's like the summertime, it's really hot, and then the wintertime, it's still kind of summer, but it's just not as hot. It occasionally gets really cold, but that's pretty rare. Like a couple nights ago, it got pretty cold. It was down to like 35 degrees in the middle of the night, but that's not common. It's not very common. I mean, it happens a few times a year, but it's not like you guys up in the north. Like I know there's a couple of people that I know from Wisconsin, and their highs for the day are like 30 degrees. So it's pretty cold up there. But down here, yeah, it's not. It's just, yeah, not cold. That's the room number. So if y'all want to join me in there, that's perfectly fine. Also, another thing I want to mention, since we're getting this show just getting started here, and for you guys over on YouTube and also on Twitch, if you look down in your descriptions, you'll see a link to our tablet giveaway. It's still going. Do me a favor, guys. All the information for the tablet giveaway is in that link. I assure you, it is in the link. You click the link, it'll take you to our slimword.com website, and it goes over all the information. And even within that little, there's like a little thing that I have there that's run by Gleam, which is a giveaway piece. It's like a software for giveaways. And if you click under terms and conditions, it will tell you what you need to know. Okay? So please don't be that one person that was messaging me on Facebook. I think I mentioned it in Discord. There was a guy that I guess I kept telling him, I'm like, dude, it's in the description of the link. Just go to the link. He's like, when does it end? I'm like, it's in the description of the link. Okay, what kind of tablet is it? I'm like, just go to the description of the link, dude. Come on, man. You're not doing me any favors here. I can't spend 20 minutes a day just answering questions from one person. I just can't do that. Imagine if everybody did that to me. It'd be insanity. Let's see. Dark Tracks and Malissa are already in the duel room. We're just going to have to wait. I'm kidding. I don't know what to use. I mean, the new decks that I've been throwing together are not decks that I would play against you guys in the duel rooms, because one of the decks that I'm trying to build right now is the Kowalki deck, and that's obviously a meta deck, so I'm not going to run that against you guys. Let me see. What's a decent deck that I can run against you guys that we can have a little fun with? I think this dude is running... What is he running? Well, let's just see what he has. I'm fairly certain that I know what he's running. So we'll just... Oh, let me turn my sound on here. And you guys don't have to wait for me. If y'all want to duel each other, go right ahead. That's cool. You know, because I know sometimes I just kind of start going off and talking, and y'all are just kind of sitting there like, all right, man, anytime now. All right, so let's see. So we got 3 people waiting, and I don't have a dice here on my desk, do I? I don't know where my dice is. So I'll just have to pick somebody. Or we can go in, let me see, in anti-alphabetical order. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Thank you for the follow. I believe that's a follow. Yes. Soul of Fresh is following me over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. I don't know who to play first. I guess I'll play Mal. Mal doesn't get to come and check out the show that often, so we'll play Mal and see how they're doing. Apparently Melissa has a new deck that they want to show off here. So we'll go and see what she has to offer. Gold rank 2? You're slacking. Come on, even my lazy bot got to legend this season. And I did it live on stream too. Yeah, the last stream on Thursday. If y'all didn't check it out, y'all can go see the replay. But yeah, I was able to get to legend. You haven't been playing? Oh no, I'm sorry, Mal. This is a meta deck. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end the duel, and I'm gonna come right back. This is a meta deck. I don't want to run this against you, because that would be unfair. I'll be right back, Mal. Seriously, let me just switch out. Here, we'll get you versus a tough deck, but something that's not meta. I guess I completely forgot that I put the a masked hero deck on him. I'm sorry. Let's go to. Let's go with Aki. She's strong, but not meta deck strong. Okay. I apologize for that, Mal. Here, we'll do this again. There we go. Okay. Man, I may have to change out this sweater. It's getting kind of warm. I guess my light is a little too hot. And it's not that warm in here. It's 68 degrees right now. Mal's not watching the stream right now. She's like, hey, what happened? My cam died. Oh, no. Not again. Yeah, it's the same problem I was having with the cam the last time. Here, may have to turn it off for the stream. That sucks. Let me do this again. There we go. Yeah, the cam was giving me problems the other day. There we go. But yeah, I thought I'd worked it out because the cam was giving me all sorts of weird problems the other day where it would just freeze like that. And it hadn't been doing that for, you know, I messed around with it, changed some settings, and it was working fine. But apparently now it's doing it again, so... Yeah, I really don't know what the problem is. Oh, am I going first? Oh, okay. Not a great starting hand. Two backfield already, huh? Give me a garden. Give me a garden. Okay. Let me think, let me think. Man, I'm just drawing too much junk right now. I have a feeling that the camera's gonna die again. Well, see, the thing is, it's not the camera. The camera's fine. But the problem that I ran into the other day was that the Elgato Cam Link that I have, it was having problems with not having enough bandwidth. So I changed it to a different port, and it worked fine. Like the whole day, the whole rest of that. Oh my god, can I stop drawing monsters? For the rest of that day, it worked fine. And now apparently it's doing the same thing again. If it dies again, I'm just going to turn it off and just leave it. It's not like you all have to look at my ugly mug the whole time anyway. Oh my gosh, can I get something besides a frickin' monster? Well, think of it. If it freezes again, hopefully I'll be doing like an ugly face, like a... just like that. I don't know. Is Crystal Emoji listed on Duel Links meta as a meta deck? Yeah, this right here exactly is what happens when you draw nothing but frickin' monsters. Just like that. Oh god. Let's see, what can we do here? This is really all I can do. Because everything just arrived way too late. I don't even know why I'm still playing. I can't win because everything showed up too late. I guess I'll just kind of just play it out and see what happens. Do you have that grave skill? Yeah, I do. I just don't use it. I kind of already know what she has face down now. Melissa. That right there is exactly why I used Rose Lover. Because I knew she had something back there. I was like, I have to use Rose Lover, because if I don't, then she's just gonna... Yeah. The only reason she used it is because she forgot about Rose Lover's effect. Oh no, you made a mistake, Mal. Why did you do that? No, that was not what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to ram your DD Assailant into my Rosemary. For no reason. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't have anything. Here you go. Yeah, that's all I got. 2 armors down there. Ow. Yeah, this is what happens when you draw nothing but monsters to start the game. I think I started with 4 monsters and then I drew into 2 more monsters, and so I was like, oh crap. Alright, let me see. Let me change to a different deck.
Team 5Ds all the way.
Here, I'll use this
There aren't
one.
many like me.
That wasn't a good game, that was a terrible game. I drew nothing but frickin' monsters. Finally, when I got something, when I got a card I could use other than a monster, I was like, oh crap. I was already too far behind after that. I only like Jack whenever he uses his voice that's way too loud. The one that little Karibo does. That's a great voice. Yeah, anybody can come into the duel room. Just remember, guys, we're running fun decks today. We're not running any meta decks. Be it tier 1s, tier 2s, or tier 3s, we don't run meta decks today. Which is why we're running just fun decks.
Duel.
Oh my god. What is going on with my draws today, dude? What is... Look at this! Look at that! What is going on? This is so stupid. Oh my gosh. What do I mean tier decks? Tier decks are basically the top, the best possible decks out there. That's what tier means. Yeah, just so you guys know, Atomic is actually really new to the game. In fact, he just started playing Duel Links a couple of days ago, and he just started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Period. What was it, like a week ago or something? So he's very new to the game. So y'all go easy on him now. He sincerely doesn't know. I'm taking a chance doing this here, but let's dump the backfield. Interesting. I'd be better if my if my cam link would stop freezing. Oh That's not what I wanted. Look, see, I got all 3 of those stupid things, just like that. Well, so much for that. That's what happens when you get 3 of the exact same card to start your duel. You're just like, what the hell can I possibly do? All he has to do is summon a monster and attack, and it's over. I'm getting just terrible starts, man. Just terrible, terrible starts. Alright, who am I gonna get weird bricks to next? Man, Buscabar and Dark Tracks are still going at it. Y'all are getting too serious. Okay, they're not done. I guess I'll place Tracks next. You lost 3. Oh, you played 3 duels? Giveaway announcement result? What are you talking about? If you're talking about the tablet, that thing's not over for at least another month. So you're way ahead, dude. Way ahead. Dragoonities? Ew. Play against frickin' Dragoonity. Dude, it's in, sweet Christ, dude, it's in the link. Come on, man, go read it, dude. Jesus Christ, man. I don't mean to go off on you or anything, but it's in the link. It's all there. All the information's there. But Atomic, if you are needing to come into the duel room, open up Duel Links, go to the, I guess, the PvP tab, and there should be an option that says Duel Room there. And from there, you can enter in the room number, which is this right here. And then once you do that, it'll let you into the room, and then you can kind of duel whoever's in the room. I don't really want to burn her. Kind of want to do this, but because I kind of want to save that, but we're gonna do this anyway. Do I want to do that, or let's do this? It's probably handier. Okay. Now you can duel anybody that you want in there, as long as they're willing to duel you. Or you can wait to duel me. It's up to you. No, reset time's about a little less than 2 hours away. Poor Trax. I'm sorry, Trax. You saw, man, I'd lost the last 2 duels pretty badly. The first duel I came back a little bit, but Trax is like, how is this happening? How is this possible? This is supposed to be a great deck. It is a great deck. Dragunities are kind of interesting, though. One thing I remember about Dragunity is that if they don't win, like, in one turn, then they have a much harder time at winning. It's kind of like the Kowalkis in that way. Is if you can't get the one turn kill off with Kowalkis, then it's much harder. Well, your draws weren't bad. It just so happened that I got out the one synchro monster that just completely negated your traps. It was like, oh crap. Yeah, I mean, you did well. It just, you know, Armades is just, yeah. Sorry, man. Blescabar and Carp are dueling. Atomic, where are you, man? Atomic, I will duel you if you'd like, sir. I'm over on table 5. So yeah, and in case you don't know, just go and click on the table. It'll ask if you want to join, hit yes, and then at that point you can request the duel. Oh, you were drawing all tuners? But, well, I mean, yeah, that I guess is kind of crap, but at the same time, Trax, like I said, that one synchro monster, because I was actually kind of thinking, do I want him or do I want Junk Warrior? And obviously, if I would have pulled Junk Warrior first, you would have had a much better chance of surviving it. But I pulled the other guy. I was like, yeah, just in case. Because obviously, you got rid of my Junk Warrior pretty easily. But the other guy, yeah, he wasn't going anywhere. Oh man, 30 card deck. Look at this guy. Ooh, this is not a great starting hand. This is all I can really do. You're on phone? Most people are. Most people are on their phones or on their tablets. I think like 1 or 2 of my normal viewers play on PC, but for the most part they usually watch on they either watch on their phone or they play us on their phone. And again, thank you all the viewers over on Twitch. There's only 4 of y'all, but I thank you all for hanging in there. I appreciate that. And again, you guys are welcome as well to join the duel room. You're more than welcome to join us there. Wow, you did not have a great starting hand. What happened there, dude? Did you brick? Let's see what you got face down there. See what do you got? Lucky Chance. When an effective monster effect that requires only 1 coin toss is activated, call heads or tails. If you call it right, draw 1 card. That's kind of interesting. I don't see many people playing that. Does someone use TVs to watch? I know my nephew likes watching YouTube on his television. Here we go. Berserker time. Now, having a 30 card deck is not necessarily a bad thing. Most people don't do that. Well, it's your draw phase. Draw a card, man. Atomic's like, why are you doing this to me? I'm like, dude, draw your card. It's your draw phase. Well, I thought he would have at least something. And when I said go easy on him, I meant go easy on him as in if he's asking questions. That's what I mean. Oh, there you go. He's got something. He's got something. At least he has something he can throw down there. Alright. Let's get rid of that thing. Hey, some of us learn best when it's trial by fire. So who knows? What was that? Cyber Jargon's Way. And it's that prismatic. Look at that. It's Dan! Dan, why are you not taking care of your kid? Hmm? Hmm? Man, now I'm not drawing monsters at all. Yeah, we're just trading turns here at this point. At least he's getting something he can put Vylon. If there's one thing we learned, what, a week and a half ago, about 10 days ago, is that Vylons just don't have the support right now. Yeah, they just, they're coming together, but they don't have the support that they need right now to be a good deck. Excuse me. Hey, look at that. We finally got something else. Hold on, let me check something. I don't think I have that. Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here is the trial by fire for you. Rib number, sure, I'll give you that. There you go. Okay, I sincerely do want to give Atomic a little bit of a chance here instead of just whacking the hell out of him for 31, because I obviously can do it, as you all can see my hand. I'm going to end my turn just to kind of give him a little chance to do something more. Go for it, dude. Again, we understand you're still new to the game, and I don't want to just completely drown you in in massive monsters. So, yeah. See what you can do. Can you play blue medicine? Okay. There you go, guys. That card right there will tell you about where he is right now in the game. He's still pretty new. We need to help him out. Need to advise him. Now I'm kind of curious to see what you have in your deck. Let's just see what you got. And what are the 4 cards in your hand? What are those? Are those just big monsters you're unable to get out? Excuse me. I cannot clear my throat. While we're doing this, Atomic, let me ask you. How many gems do you currently have right now? Like, do you know off the top of your head? Because if you've got several thousand gems, which at this point, since you just got started, it's not hard for you to get gems. Here, we'll just end this. But I was gonna say, if you've got a few thousand gems, we can at least advise you on the better packs to pick. If you were looking to get some packs with your gems. What's up, Thunder? What's this? Oh, Jar of Avarice. But no, I'm not telling him that he necessarily has to get a meta deck to win. That's not what I'm saying. But at the very least, we can get him on the track to where he could maybe at least throw together a deck that can at least be somewhat competitive, at least in duel rooms. I'm not pushing him to get to, you know, King of Games or anything. I'm just saying, just so he can have a little more, you know, a few more options. Because let's face it, there are some boxes you simply don't want to buy. Hey, Charlie. Oh, Charlie, we're not talking about ranks right now. We're just talking about decks that will be fun, you know. Because think of it like this. Obviously, there are meta decks that are quite expensive that I don't want to push him into. But even like something like this here. I mean, like this deck that I'm playing right now. I mean, obviously, it doesn't win all the time, but it's still a fun deck. And this deck is not that expensive. Some of the cards are actually pretty easy to get. And he doesn't necessarily have to go with every single card here. Yeah, like look at this. These are like look at all these normal monsters. Or just normal cards. Look, see, 3 of the Commons, the Serenity Gustos. These are rares. Look at that. See, all the cards here, all the base monsters, rare, 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 normal, normal. Those are so easy to get. Very easy to basically, to get a basic, you know, Gusto deck going. Now, of course, these other cards, these are going to be a little harder to come by. Some of them are not that hard to come by, though. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point he's already got the enemy controller. Because if y'all remember, enemy controller is one of the first prismatic cards you get. And you get it, I think, just from playing, you get it through that Mokuba bingo thing. I think that's how it works. So that's easy to get. And some of these others you don't necessarily have to play. But this one, again, this one goes with the deck. It's a normal card. Some of these others aren't that hard. Spike Shield, he doesn't necessarily have to get it. But again, it's just a rare. You know? How do you show your deck? You can share it. If you click on this little share button right here, you can share it that way. But yeah, like this one, I mean, and again, I think if I remember correctly, I threw this deck together in like a day. And it wasn't supposed to be a Gusto deck, it just turned into one. Now, of course, when you look down here, this is a little different, obviously, because you got your ultra. Well, the thing is, this guy, like Junk Berserker, easy to get because you can farm him off of Yusei. That guy is a little harder to get. He comes from a box. This guy also comes from a box. This you get from Yusei, so again, another easy card to get. And this one comes from the card trader. So again, very easy to get. And he's only a rare, so he's not that expensive at the card trader. You only need gold for him. But yeah, some of these other cards, like Cosmics, Galaxies, those are a little harder to get. Now, keep in mind, since Atomic just started, he still has his dream tickets. So I can tell you right now, Atomic, if you were going to use your dream tickets, I hope you haven't used them yet. Please tell me you haven't used them. But if you still have your dream tickets, like your ultra rare dream ticket, no one would fault you. In fact, most people would cheer you if you used your dream ticket to get a card like this. Galaxy Cyclone, it's, at least for me, I consider Galaxy Cyclone a staple because you can stick that in virtually any deck and it's useful. That right there is why. So if you have your ultra rare ticket, go look in it, go see what cards it offers, and if it offers you Galaxy Cyclone, again, I think probably 99% of us here would say yes, get Galaxy Cyclone. It is a very good card. So you can use it for that. Now, your super rare dream ticket, which I think I still have mine. Well, Dan, that's up for debate. I think it's up for debate. Like if I had, like me personally, if I had to choose between Galaxy and Cosmic, I would probably go Galaxy. But that's me. That's me. So it's just an opinion. But like I said, if Atomic just decided to get Galaxy Cyclone with his ticket, I don't think anybody would fault him. I really don't, because it's a good card. It really is. Now for Super Rare, that's a little different. I like Super Rush, obviously. I don't know if I'd get it. In fact, let me go see if I still have my dream ticket. I'm pretty sure I do. I haven't spent them. Oh, you're going to share it on Discord? That's fine, Atomic. Let's see. Was this it? This was the super rare? I don't think this is it. Oh, this is the dream ticket. Or at least it looks like it, because look, it's got like Axe of Despair and stuff in here too. Yeah, oh man, there's a lot of options in here. Yeah, this is the super rare dream ticket. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. If you still have the super rare dream ticket, let's ask the audience. Don't spend it on Sapphire Pegasus. Don't. Let's ask the audience. If you had a super rare dream ticket that you could spend, kind of like how I have right now, what is a good card? I would, like I said, if I had to choose something, I would probably go with a stable. Simply because, again, at this point, he's still really early on in his playing of the game. You know, I would probably go with a staple. Unless you've already got a whole bunch of cards that are going toward a deck that you know is going to work. Wall of Meme. Actually, Wall of D is not a bad choice. Here, we'll just go to traps. Wall's down here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Wall of Disruption. Good card. If you still have the ticket, again, nobody would fault you if you got this card. It's a good card. Or Treacherous Trap Hole. That's also a good card. Let me see what else is in here that's good. Now, Treacherous isn't so much a staple as maybe Wall is, simply because it has its limitations, but either one of those is pretty good. Let me see. What other cards in here might be considered staples? Drain Shield, not a staple, but a pretty good card. I probably wouldn't pick it if I had the option between that and a Wall, though. Yeah, based on the options here, I would probably go either Treacherous or oh, see, Stealth Attack is so tempting though. Hatronade. I would say Hatronade is. I kind of agree with you there, Primal. Not really considered a staple, but a very good card. Again, if you got a Hatronade, which is this card right here, with your Dream Ticket, I would not fault you. I don't have a Hatronade myself, but it is a good card. And of all the other cards in here that you can get with a Super Rare ticket, I like Super Rush Headlong. I personally think it's a good card. Again, it's not, I don't think it's staple status, but it's one of those cards, again, that you could kind of throw into almost any deck and you're going to get some use out of it. Let me see here what else we got. Freaking Vampire Kingdom, I hate that card. I only hate that card because it won't, the packs will not give me that damn thing. It won't. It will not give me the card. But yeah, Hatronade, Super Rush Headlong is good. Let me see. Chalice is actually not bad. It's a very good tech card. Let me see. Yeah, I think if you're starting out, the two cards that I would pick from here would be either Hatronade or Super Rush Headlong. Those would be the two that I would pick. You could only pick one, but there you go. Just pick whatever you need. Let's see, are there any extra deck ones? These are not worth using a Dream Ticket on. Monsters. I can't think of any monsters where a Dream Ticket would be useful. Hello, Mr. Darkmaster, over on Twitch. But yeah, like I said, if you're going to be using your Ultra Rare Dream Ticket, Galaxy or Cosmic are two great options. Again, simply because you can put them in virtually any deck and they work. But anyways, that's our advisement to Mr. Atomic. And wow, I really do need to start cashing in some of these tickets. I've got a lot of them. Oh yeah, this was from Ranked Duels, right? And I forgot what the new card was. There was like one new card. It was like a turtle or something. Where is it? Oh, I think it's this thing. The Gem Turtle. Such a goofy thing. Sphere Ebola. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Sphere Kuribos. Sphere Kuribo's okay. I don't think I'd burn a Dream Ticket on it, though. There are far better options. There really are. But let's hop back in. In fact, let me change over to a different deck, just to give you all something different to look at. You're dueling... Well... Don't say that when you're dueling Dan. Dan, you better not be using your frickin' Buster Blader deck on him. You don't do that. Don't. Don't do that to him. Okay, that's a meta deck, so I gotta switch. Here, I'll play with this one.
My dinos made sure you're the one.
This is obviously a dino deck. But seriously, Dan, don't do that to him. I have a feeling that Atomic is pretty young, so go easy on him, Dan. Okay, Dre, Dark Master. Oh, Buscabar's been waiting, but he's playing tracks again. So I guess I'll play Dre. All right, Dre, let's see what you got. For those of you just getting here, yes, we are doing a duel room. There's your room number. Keep in mind, we're not using meta decks. This is for fun decks. That's why I'm not using Masked Heroes or my anti-meta deck or any of those. But we're running mostly, yeah, like, see, dinosaurs, yeah, that's kind of, it's more fun than, you know. It's not even a great dino deck. It's kind of a, you know, it's not great. I could actually make this dino deck much better, but I'm just too lazy to do it. But yeah, there's that one thing that I forget what it is. Gold Sarcophagus, where you can remove a monster from play, and it's generally this guy. I think it's this guy, is it? If this card is banished, you can special... Yeah, it is that guy. And I remember I was trying so damn hard to get 3 of that guy, and I couldn't get it. So I was like, oh, crap. I think Dre got the God Hand. He's like, ha ha ha, I have the God Hand. Yeah, there's not a ton I can do here. I didn't get any defensive cards at all. Well, if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna go down fighting. Yeah, I didn't get any defensive cards. Trax. Poor Trax needs a win. After losing several times against Buscabar, and then he lost versus me, it was getting ugly for him. Dan's like, I was tempted. Let's see, who else was waiting? Soul, I've already dueled. Dan is free. I think Magikarp's been waiting a little bit longer than Dan, so we'll go face Carp. And then we'll see what Dan's doing. I got no defensive cards there at all. It sucked. And you, starting with the God Hand, you're like, oh, look, I already have this. I can already bring it out. Yubel? I hate playing against Yubel decks, man. It's so freaking boring. Dark Meister. Wow, nothing, huh? Well, If he bricked, I gotta take as much as I can get here. Look at your win rate in the duel room. You want me to reset it? Yeah, this is really boring, dude, so I'm just gonna end the duel. I'm not gonna keep waiting for you to do whatever it is you're doing. I'm sorry. It's just really boring just waiting, dude. Alright, Dan. Where are you, Dan? Get over here. I'm sorry, but it's true, dude. I can't sit there and just let you go through your entire deck for 5 minutes while I've got people waiting, you know, wanting to watch something that's at least sort of entertaining, and we're just like, are you done yet, dude? Come on, man. No tracks. You know what's very rude, Tracks? You're very rude. Play enough of them in the ladder. Surprisingly, I didn't face any Noble Knights all through Platinum. At all. Surprising. A gulag is... Oh, is that what they're playing here? Okay, I'm not playing these either. Bye. I'm not doing this either. Sorry, Dan. No. What is with you guys in playing these ultra-slow, boring decks? Come on, man. Play something that's entertaining. Oh my god. Oh wait, Bluscabar's winning. Because it doesn't make for good television tracks, that's why. I've explained this to you before, man. Somebody's dog is outside going nuts. I don't see you at a table, dude. And no, you haven't been waiting as long as some of these other people. Bluscabar's been here since, like, before the show started. Oh, Mal. Mal's like, deal with it, buddy. That's mean. Poor Trax. Trax is like, I hate all of you. Why do I even deal with you? Hold on, I gotta find a picture of Trax now. Let's see, where's the Trax picture?
Duel!
I think that's everybody after after Mal's comment. Sorry. Or Dan when he loses, whenever he loses any time. Sure, that's fine. Everybody, I don't mean for them to pick on him. I think I said I blame Trax like twice, and then now everybody says it all the time. Yeah, I have. I didn't think they would take it like it's like I had it like right here, and then they took it like up here. Just at some point, you just gotta come on, guys. I should actually, I was thinking for a second, I was like, I should probably pay attention to this duel. Instead of just reading chat. There you go, Trax and Atomic, y'all should duel. Excuse me. Oh, he's already dueled somebody. There's some people in there from Twitch as well. Anybody that's in the room, Atomic is at a table. I think he said he's at table 7. And he is accepting challenges. Do I want to do that? Yeah, we'll let it go. Pick up your homie? Like up over your head? It's kind of an odd thing to do. Not a huge amount I can do as far as floodgating it anyway. Because it's still going to be face down there, and I would still have to find a way to get past it. And there's really not a huge amount of ways to get past it. So it doesn't really matter. Well, for me, yes. For them, not really. They've got 3 cards in their hands, and I imagine they've got at least something they can throw out there. Dan, what are you doing to him? Why didn't you floodgate it? That's why I didn't floodgate it. Good duel, man. Holy crap, that was close. I thought for certain you were going to bring out your level 8. It wouldn't have mattered either way if you brought out level 4 or level 8. I was going to floodgate either one of those to put it down and face down and make it 1,000 defender. I think some people don't. Like, even I don't, like, seriously. I have a pretty hardcore Silent Magician deck that I've actually run on the ladder, and it's not a meta deck. It's not considered meta, but even I won't run that against you guys because it's not fun. Yeah, level 8 would have died either way. It would have been level 8 or it would have been level 4. Either one of them. But yeah, apparently Dan is playing Noble Knights, which is like, come on, man. Yeah, Dan, come on. It's the weekend, Dan, you know. Dan's been watching this program for how long now? Like almost a year? Come on, man. Fun. Gotta have some fun, man. I'll even switch. Let me switch over. That was the dinosaur deck, which wasn't very good. Oh, here. I'll do this deck.
Check out my A game.
This deck is kind of interesting. Let me go back in the room here. Let me see who's available. Dan. I'm not facing you, Dan. Yeah, those damn Welshmen. What you talking about, mate? It's fun for me. What is fun? Well, the easiest way to define it really is anything that isn't hyper competitive, that you probably won't see like in Platinum or Legend. That's what I would say. It doesn't necessarily mean meta decks, but meta decks is the easiest way to kind of define it. Because obviously we don't want people bringing in like masked heroes. Some of the decks that we really frown upon that most people don't bring in here would be things like spellbooks or decks that are really slow or really stallish. Like I have a stall deck. I have an anti-meta stall deck that's not meta. It's not meta at all, but I won't run it against you guys because it's just unfair. I mean, it's a great deck and it does really well. Like this deck here, I'll show you guys. This is not a meta deck. It's not a meta deck. But this sucker has destroyed so many people on the ladder, it's not even funny. Like, look. See, look at this thing. A couple golems, botanical lion, 2 ciphers, a sphere, a frickin' kangaroo, spike shields. Yeah, people on the ladder hate this deck. They hate it. And I've run it in Platinum and in Legend, and they hate this deck so much. Again, it's not meta, but I would not run this against you guys in a fun room. I just wouldn't, because it's just mean. It's mean, guys. Now, some meta decks can get past this, but a standard deck, like a fun deck, probably not. They're gonna have a really hard time with it. Same thing with Silent Magician. I mean, I played out that last duel fine. Because I've run Silent Magician a couple of times, but then over time I've realized, okay, yeah, it's probably not a deck I should probably play in a duel room. Simply because it's just, I mean, once it gets going, it's just too strong. This is my version of it. But yeah, same thing. I wouldn't run this against you guys, not in the duel room. I usually go for kind of silly sort of theme decks, or like the deck that I'm about to use right now with Joey. This is an interesting deck that we built in like 20 minutes on a stream once, and it's actually kind of fun. So, and it's not hardcore. Oh, I haven't played Moo Gem. Yeah, let me play Moo Gem real quick. I'll probably lose, but it's still a fun deck. I still like playing it. It's pretty neat. It's like pressing Q in Overwatch. Well, depending on the Silent Magician build that you go with, like I have 2 versions of it. I have that one that I run on Jessie with the Transcendent Crystal thing, and then I have another that I run on Little Yugi that is not as strong, but it doesn't brick as much. Oh wait, maybe I did play against you. I don't want to play in a Dark World Dealings bullcrap. What is this? Here, we'll throw that out, I guess. Boojins. Yeah, pretty much. It's Magicians of the Wind condition. All right, let's see what we're doing here. I can do that, but let's just be patient here and do this, and then this. Oh! That sucked. Well, I lost. Okay, maybe not lost. Not quite yet. I think Dan had to leave. What am I drinking? A drink? Well, that sucks. I know what's coming now. Kind of want to do that, but it may not matter. Of course it's not going to matter now. Yeah, I mean, Gravekeepers would be so fun if only Necro Valley wasn't so damn expensive. I mean, it's just horrible that it's so expensive. Because the whole idea was that they knew we really, really wanted that card, but of course the only way they were going to do it was by making it ridiculously expensive. And I think that's a bunch of BS. Because I understand why they do it, because they want to make the money. That's the whole idea. But at the same time, you know, you have to give people a reason to want to stick around. And if you're making cards like that people really want, extremely difficult or expensive to get, people aren't going to hang around for that. People are just going to say, you know what, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore. Because, I mean, think of it. The same thing happened with me. I looked at that and I thought, okay, 1 in 60 chance to get Necro Valley. And you know that it's probably going to be at the bottom of the box, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, unless you were willing to throw out probably $150, you weren't going to get Necro Valley. It just wasn't going to happen. And even then, you generally want 3. I mean, you can work the deck with 2. But to make it easiest would be 3. Well, see, that's the thing about that box, is that I went and I got like 8 or 9 packs, and I got nothing. I got just crap. I got absolute crap out of that box. So after that, I was like, forget it. I think they're going about it the wrong way, really. Let's see. Darn. I didn't update this list either. Nope. I think that's kind of the problem, is that I know they want the game... Well, I want the game to grow. But again, if they make stuff like that way too expensive, people are eventually going to decide, you know, this is just... It's just too much money, man. And I wouldn't blame them. I think it would have been easier, and again, this kind of goes back to that whole talk that I had with you guys a long time ago about trading in the game. They're never going to implement trading, which is really terrible. But if trading was in the game, then maybe it'd be easier for new players to absorb any sort of cost that would come along with it. Because you know the whales are going to spend their $500 a month anyway. That's just, you know, that's just the way it is. But the good thing about that is that the whales would eventually, you know, some of the money that they spend would eventually be spread out to the rest of us, because they would eventually start trading. Man, this sucks. I'm just gonna wait. But the way that they're bringing these cards out is a really, you know, there are ways for them to do it and still make money, but they don't want to do it that way. Double spike. What are you doing running double spike? Get out of here. Well, the only big reason why losing the gems was a big deal for some people is because the game in itself is pretty expensive. It can get really expensive, and I know you may think, oh, well, they have those deals where you get 3 packs for $1 and then you get a super rare. I'm like, well, yeah, that's nice, but that's not the norm. And plus, you can only buy that for each box one time. After that, then the price goes up substantially. It goes from getting 3 packs plus a super rare for $1 to where now you'll get 6 packs for like $6. So it does get expensive. And again, when you consider the target demographic for a game like this, which is, you know, anywhere between, say, people who are 10 all the way to teenagers into young adults, that's kind of expensive. I mean, do you really want to try and ask a 14-year-old to dish out, you know, $50, $60 to get one card, you know, and then there's no guarantee of getting that card, and then on top of that, if they get duplicates, they can't even trade them away. So yeah, it's not easy to do that, man. Ooh, look at this guy. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. I was going to bring out Freed, but then I remembered, oh yeah, I can't use these as tributes. But just in case you all never saw it, I do have a video that offered a way to implement trading into the game where they would still be able to make money, but we would still be able to trade away some of our cards. Unfortunately, not all of them, but we would be able to trade away some of them, which would help. Because it would produce, basically, if you did implement trading even the way that I recommended it, it would offer so many different ways for people to, ooh, shield crash. It would offer so many different ways for people to get into the game or to stay in the game without having to sink in, you know, all kinds of money. We gotta take a look at that deck. Here, we'll just finish this. Okay, he said he shared it over in Discord. Let me see what we got. Where did you share it? Here? No. 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 Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. I gotta bring it up over here. Well, that's dumb. I hate the way they do the deck sharing stuff here. It's so stupid. Basically it's not going to show me the deck, and that sucks. Is Trax running Rainbow Dragon? I will not tell you if he is. Yeah, he shared a link which doesn't work for PC. That's kind of crap. I hate that. Yeah, it seems to me like you're bricking a bit there, Ghoul. Or Atomic, I should say. How much gold do you need for Rosemary? I think she's like 40,000 gold? Something like that. She's not that expensive. I mean, she's an ultra rare. But considering, you know, it's card trader stuff and most of us have millions of gold, she's not that expensive, really. Yeah, she didn't even come up for me this time around. But I want to say she's like 40,000 gold or something like that. Oh, it's okay, Atomic. It's no problem, dude. It's not your fault. You only have two. You will get more gold. Trust me. You are going to get more gold.
No one messes with Joey Wheeler. It's your hero, Tristan Taylor.
Yeah, like, look at this. I don't even try. In fact, I actively try to spend my gold, and I still have almost 5 million. I have almost 5 million gold. And like I said, I actually try to spend it when I can, but there's just, at this point, I mean, there really isn't any other cards that I really need. Like, these cards are just nobody, I've seen nobody use these cards. The possessed ones. Gigantic Castle, having 3 of those I think is overkill as it is. And that's one of the newer cards. Already got 3 of those. Freaking Griggle. Yeah, they've already got multiples of all these cards. So, yeah. It gets really easy to accumulate gold later on in the game. You're afraid that Trax is going to bring the dragon out? Oh, he will. He definitely will. I like how the first few tables are completely empty. You have to go down all the way over here. I kind of want to see what's going on with Dark Master and Dan now. Should we spectate? What do you think? We'll spectate. I think we all do, man. But at the same time, I mean, a second Terra Incarnate is... To me, that seems like overkill. Because you only really need one. And it's really easy to get rid of it. Because you want to get rid of it. You want to get it out so you can bring out the Ultimate Nightmare. What is this? The Spike Shield. Oh my gosh. What was this? Who's doing this? Spike Shield and fools. Well, I also look at it this way. If you do happen to get Ultimate Nightmare out and you still can't win, then you probably deserve to lose. It's true. And the thing about having the second one, the what is it, the Incarnate? Once it's out on the field, a lot of people don't realize you don't have to destroy it. It can be just removed from the field. Like, you can actually Dark Core your own Terra Incarnate, remove it from play, and you still get its effect. A lot of people don't realize that. It just says when it leaves the field. That's all it says. Messed up and filling your back row? Oh, I'm not questioning that you weren't aware, but some people are not aware of that. Some people don't read the cards. But I can't rag on people who don't read the cards too much, though, because let's face it, and I've said it before too. I mean, some of these cards have frickin' novels on them, which is ridiculous. All right, well, I guess I'll sit here at a table. And anybody who wants to hop in can hop in. Is this the Yubel person again? You're really gonna make me face Yubel with this deck? This is not even... I mean, this is... I'll be honest, this is a straight-up beatdown deck. That's all this is. It's not gonna do anything against Yubel. Oh, it's Jesse. If this is Silent Magician, I'm gonna quit, just so you know. He's like, oh, he doesn't want to face that magician. Dark Master. I don't think I've faced this Dark Master person. Well, there's a lot of good decks out there that are not meta. Arrow Mage is not considered meta anymore, but it can still win. Now, is it amazing in you know, Platinum and Legend? Not really. Like, this deck that I'm running right here is about as anti-competitive as it gets. It's just, like I said, it's just a straight beatdown deck. I think the only thing about this deck, if I remember correctly, is that it has Breakthrough.
Duel.
I think that's its big thing. Well, at the time when Arrow Mage was meta, I mean, we had, what, half the cards we have now? So there wasn't really any other way to get by it. Where's the music, man? Gotta break out some music here. What is this? Dusty Fingers. Okay, I need to pay attention to the duel. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Horn of the Onicorn. Oh, his monster is horny. Sorry, I had to do that. What do I have down here again? Oh, okay. Heck, I think we're both running just beat down decks. Beginning of Heaven and stuff, and I gotta read this now. 3 warrior type monsters from your deck, including at least 1 Blackluster Soldier monster or Gaia the Fierce Knight monster. If they pick a Blackluster Soldier monster, Gaia, add it to your hand, send them all to the... Oh, okay. So it's just an RNG pick anyway. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Horn of the Unicorn. I kind of see what they're doing with it here. I'm still not a fan of it, though. Simply because if it's destroyed, it keeps going back to the top of the deck over and over and over again. I do not like that. I'd rather play... Well, I guess Axe is pretty good. Seeing this... Noble Knights! Get that out of here, man. Axe, I think, is better. The only thing with Axe is that you have to pay... I think you have to pay 1,000. You gotta pay 1,000 life points. But at least you have the choice. You had to summon Rainbow Dragon twice. Neato. Hey, I didn't double spike shield you. If I would have double spike shield you, this would have been over. Man. Let's see. Probably making a mistake here. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay, I'm okay. I'm good here. I'm just gonna see what they're doing. Aegean Trizix. Enemy controller. All right. Move my mic a little bit further down. I keep getting in front of it. Half the stream, it's like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you all." That's a little better. Spiral Spear Strike. That sucks. Every good deck has a skill. Well, that's kind of the way the game's designed. Is that usually a deck in and of itself is not overpowering, but when you add in the skill, then it kind of gives it that extra edge. Now let's see if I can draw an actual card that offers me some defense here. Come on, Tristan. Well, that sucks. They basically top-decked into the win there. Yeah, I lost. I can't blame him, though. I would have done the same thing. Alright, let's see. Who have I not dueled yet? Erund? I don't know who that is. I'm gonna switch into a different deck because I've been using these kind of crap decks. Let me try something that actually has a chance of winning. Actually, let's go with this one over here. This is always a fun deck.
You can count on me and my Vehicroids.
Oh, well, apparently you're facing Dan. Or about to face Dan. I guess I'll be over here at table 8. Or not. I guess I'll be over here at table 2. There we go. It's Bandit Keats.
Duel!
Well, that's an interesting start. Who's Arcana? Somebody that might be playing Blue Eyes. Gen X. Dan, what are you doing to this poor kid? Cut it out, Dan. Everybody's looking at Dan like, why you do this? Why you do this, Dan? Y'all are getting on me. Go easy on him, guys. And Dan's over here breaking out a butcher knife and a bat and just going to work on it. Well, there's not a lot I can do now except just go defense. You didn't brick. You're actually... I mean, at least you have defensive cards. I guess it is all back row because they're not doing anything else. And I can't bring anything else out, so it's like, well... Cut your duck down a bit. Don't tell him what to do with his duck. That sounded wrong. You said duck. Just a reminder, guys, it's not a brick if you can keep putting things in your backfield to protect you. That's not a brick. Just so you know. A brick is when you can't play anything. That's a brick. Arrow Mage gets boring very quickly. They're not so bad. The reason why I don't find them boring is because, yeah, they've got a lot of different effects and stuff, but they move fast enough to where you're not falling asleep when you face them. Unlike certain other decks like, man, can I draw a Tribute Monster? Unlike other decks like Spellbooks. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I sincerely have nothing else I can bring out at this point. I really don't. Believe me, if I had a Tribute Monster, I would tribute it, but I can't. I don't have anything. This match is inadvertently boring. We're not trying to make it boring, guys. I swear to God, we're trying to do stuff. Did you notice what just happened here, though? Remember, he used Wall of D against my Droroid, but now look at the attack of my Droroid after he used his Paleozoic. It's back to 16. I actually didn't know that would happen. That's kind of interesting. Okay, let's see what, come on. There's one card I know that I can draw that can really push this duel forward. That's not it. I could go all for it, but I know these are defensive cards. So let's just pick away at him. We've gotten this far into it anyway. Let's just pick away at it. Well, no, because I mean, like I said, we're not purposely making the duel slow. That's the way it's happening here. Is this the way it's turning out? Oh, Axe of Despair. Okay. The interesting thing is the longer the duel goes, it's actually better for Cyrus. Because of the type of deck that he runs. It's actually better. Let's see, that's a light, huh? Sincerely, there is a card that I can draw right now that if I draw it and I bring it out, I'll go all in. That actually might be it. That might do it. Here, I'm going to do this. Get rid of that thing. Bring this dude out. Unless he stops something here, which he won't. Okay. There we go. Got that anti-magic arrows going. That wasn't the card I was thinking of, but that works too. The card I was thinking of was Jinzo. I have one copy of Jinzo in this deck, and I was like, just draw it, because I really didn't want to burn my Maneater Bug on my own monster, even though I'd been tempted for several turns. I was hoping that I could get Jinzo, but yeah. Good duel, sir, even though it was a little boring. And again, I don't blame you for that. It was both of our faults. It was just kind of a, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of an match. Neither of us could really get anything going. I kind of got something going, but then you walled my my submarine roid, and it was just kind of like after that. And me trying to help my my whatchamacallit survive over and over. My drill ride. So Blescabar. Let's see. So I kind of want to see what you guys are doing here. Uh-oh. Trax is having a hard time now. Yes, Blescabar. What is it? Dude, you need to tell me your real name at this point, man. It's just weird calling you Blescabar. I'm just going to assume your name is Jose. Okay? Oh, just to abuse the Victory Viper? I've seen a variation of that deck where it runs just kind of similar to what you were doing. It brings out Victory Viper and then it uses the Gravity Blaster or whatever that thing was. But I see what you were trying to do with it. You didn't miss that much. You missed kind of a dark, kind of a boring match. Jose, really? What's wrong with Jose? Seriously, what's wrong with the name Jose? I have an uncle named Jose. Really, that's his, we call him Joe. But his name is, and because Jose and Joe is the same name. Joe is the English version, Jose is the Spanish version. So what's wrong with calling Blescabar Jose? I don't get it. Oh, Rainbow Dwagon. Oh my god, Emmanuel, you're late. Oh gosh, are you serious? Oh, that actually looked kind of neat. And let's get Jose Mourinho, confirmed to be blessed. We're doing all right. I got my butt kicked for a while here. I was losing badly. Like, Blescabar beat me badly. Somebody else did too. I forget who it was, but yeah, I've lost a few times pretty badly to stay. But I've won a few. I've won a few too. I'm like 50 and 50. I don't even know. I guess I could check the room stats if I wanted to. Duel record 13 losses? I don't remember losing 13 times. I sincerely don't. I don't remember losing 13. Oh, duel records within the room. Let's see. Yeah, I lost to Blescabar, I lost to Soul. Beat Atomic Ghoul twice, but then, you know, he's still new. So that's not unexpected. Lost to Moo, lost to Master. Yeah, see, look at all the loss. It's been an interesting day. Table is kind of glitched. Sometimes you have to leave the room and then come back into the room to unglitch it. Oh, I have an idea. Let me switch over to... I was going to switch over to a really goofy deck here if I can find it. Who has it? Here, I'll try this.
You shouldn't underestimate me.
I don't think this is going to do very well, but we'll try it. Oh, well, apparently you're playing Dark Tracks instead. Shredder. Oh, I didn't even know Shredder was here. The only bad thing is every time I face Shredder, I lose. every single time. So I guess if I'm gonna lose, then I'll lose right now. I think I've only beat him like one time, and that one time I beat him, we were both like, really? He was like, I lost, and I was like, I won? When is the next? Oh, not for about a month, dude. The next experience event. They go through them. They cycle. There's like 4 of them, 4 different events, and they're like each about 7 or 8 days long. So yeah, the 1.5x just ended. So we're probably not going to see one again probably until the end of February.
Duel.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you missed it, dude. I burned through a whole bunch of keys and I burned all of my orbs. Every single time the experience event comes around, I burn all my orbs. Sanctuary in the sky. I actually screwed that up. I should have played this differently. What I should have done was sent that green guy away first, and then brought up Morello that way. Then sent the other guy and brought the green guy back and did it that way. I screwed that up. I don't play this deck enough to even remember that that's how it always works. That you can't target the same monster or the same monster with the same name, really. Arcana, keep talking, see what happens. What are you talking about? Ooh, he's already got another sanctuary in the sky. Admittedly, these guys are actually a little slow. Not as slow as spell books, but still kind of slow. That's the only bad thing here. Is he's just going to keep gaining life points every time he draws that. Knew it was going to be a Drowning Mirror Force. I knew it. I was like, it's going to be drowning. That could it be another drowning? Possibly. Who knows? I don't have anything to really get rid of it. Oh, that's it. The only reason I beat Shredder that time, and I'm not gonna lie, it's rare that I beat him. He's really freaking good. The only reason I beat him that time is I was able to get ahead of him. And once I was able to get ahead of him and start taking out his cards, it was really hard for him to recover. Good duel, sir. But yeah, like I said, admittedly, the Glad Beasts are a little slow, so let me save you all from that pain and I'll try something different. I'll try this.
I must hone my skills and become a better duelist.
Is this, wait a minute, is this the one I want? This is something different. What was I doing with this? Oh, this is the deck I want to do. Here, I'll use this. Since you all are bringing out your Silent Magicians, I'll bring out mine. This is the weaker Silent Magician, so yeah. This one, it's weaker, but it doesn't brick as much. That's the good thing. Let's see, who we got? Errand, Trax, Master. I'm just gonna pick somebody. Here, I'll be the person at the fifth table, and whoever jumps on first. Your connection messed up. Why is your connection messed up? Oh, Trax wants to duel. Okay. Trax might actually take me out here. Let's see how it goes. I was going through my cards, my old Magic cards. This thing is a swamp. It's a basic land from Onslaught. If you all ever played Magic the Gathering, you know what that means. It's a basic land swamp from Onslaught. $2. Just a basic land. And Onslaught does not have a lot of really great cards. It really doesn't. Onslaught, the whole set, has maybe 4 cards that are worth a good amount of money. Oh, well then you can appreciate this then. That's basic land, swamp. And there's like 5 different versions of the swamp card. The basic land one. What's this? Crystal Bond, okay. Face your fire heroes. But yeah, I've actually got quite a few. There's a few others here that I have. Here. Lonely Sandbar. The Secluded Steppe. Oh, do I want to... Yeah, let's send it down. What the heck? Go on, set your backfield, and end your turn. A tad cancerous. I think almost any deck has the potential to be cancerous. Well, it's a good thing I put that down. Well, maybe not necessarily. It didn't matter. Here we go. Oh, do I want to do that? Ah, what the hell. Let me see. You're Pegasus, 12 defender. Okay, good. Yeah, I was going through some old Magic cards, and I've noticed in the past year or so, a lot of, not necessarily the basic lands, but the named land cards, like this one again, the Dara Encampment. A lot of them, even if they're commons, they've been going up in value. Even from crap sets like Onslaught. Now, Onslaught's not as bad as they come, but... but yeah, like I said, Onslaught doesn't have a ton of really great cards in it. It just doesn't. Oh, that's the turtle, isn't it? It's the turtle. Oh, it's not the turtle. Okay. But I've noticed that they've started moving up in value. There's a few others I have in here too. Where are they? Oh, Crystal Regeki! Yeah, I think he kind of knows it's kind of over, so he's just gonna put it all in. You only have one out of the Power 9? I have 0 Power 9s. After I threw away thousands of dollars of Magic cards when I was a teenager like a frickin' idiot, I kind of, thought I hated Silent Magician. I never said I hated Silent Magician. I just said I generally won't play that deck against you guys here because it is so strong. But I played the weaker version of it. If you want, I can do another one. Here, hold on, Trax. I'll go switch to a different deck. We'll play again. Oh, look, it's already reset time. Hooray, 1 normal ticket. Oh, and our super rare ticket.
Let's see you get past this.
Let me see. Here, I'll play this. But yeah, absolutely true story. When I was a teenager, I went to this park here in my hometown, and I met up with her there because she didn't live that far from the park. I lived a little further, so I was like, well, we'll just meet at the park. And she's like, all right. I must have been 16, 17 years old, maybe, about that age. And we went to the park, and we went to go sit down on this, it was like a picnic table sort of thing. And there was a shoebox there, good-sized shoebox, pretty big. And it was just there, and nobody was around. No one was around, and we just kind of figured, it was just like some random shoebox. We didn't know what it was. But I went and I opened it up and I looked into it, and there were probably a couple thousand Magic the Gathering cards. And at the time I'd heard of the game, but I wasn't into it or anything. I didn't play, I didn't collect the cards or anything like that, but I knew what it was. And again, nobody was around. There was literally nobody else in the park. So I just thought, well, maybe somebody brought them here, forgot them, and then just, you know. And since nobody was around, I was like, oh, what the heck, I'll just keep them. So I kept them, went home, went through them actually, and I remembered some of the card names and all that stuff. But again, at the time, it didn't mean anything to me because I wasn't familiar with the game. And so I stuck them in my closet and just left them there for months. And then a little less than a year later, we had to move. And unfortunately, we were moving into a smaller apartment than where we were at. We were in a house at the time, but we didn't have a lot of money. My family didn't have a lot of money. So we had to move into a smaller apartment, and we had to get rid of stuff that we didn't need. And I remember as we were packing to move, I opened up the box again, and I was like, and I remember thinking, I'll probably never need these. And so I took them, and I literally took the box and dumped them into this big garbage can we had outside our house. And that was it. They were all gone. And only years later did I realize what I'd done. And they were in case you guys are wondering, they were cards from Beta, from Unlimited, from Revised, and maybe a couple of Alphas. I don't remember exactly because it's kind of hard to tell Alphas and Betas apart. But yeah. Oh, it was a lot more than that. It was a lot more than $10,000. I guarantee you. Because I knew for a fact I had at least one Lotus. And again, if you play Magic the Gathering, you know what I mean by I had a Lotus. I had at least one. I had a couple. I had a handful of Power 9s in there. I remember the names. I had Time Walks. I had all kinds of stuff in there. There was some amazing stuff in that box. But again, at the time, you know, they didn't have the massive value that they have now. I mean, like, yeah, even at the time, Lotus was still a little hard to come by, but it wasn't worth anywhere near what it's worth now. Back in the day, a Lotus, back when I found it, was worth maybe 10 bucks. That's it. And of course, now the Alphas are worth something like, you know, depending on where you get them or who you get them from. If it's graded and if it's a PSA, like a PSA 10, that's like a $40,000 card. And if I remember correctly, excuse me, if I remember correctly, the original Alpha Black Lotus, there was only like 1,100 of them printed, and that was it. Of Alpha Black Lotus, only 1,100. So yes, they really are that rare. Now, of course, you know, they've reprinted them in Beta, Unlimited, and all that, but they don't print them anymore. So yeah, that's why the Alphas and the Beta Lotuses are worth so much. Even the other Power 9s, like the Moxes, the various Moxes, was it Time Walk, Ancestral Recall, cards like that. It's just, you know, it's insane just how much money those cards are worth now. And again, even some of the commons from Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited, even some of those are worth just tons of cash. How do I not have a 7-star in here? That's so stupid. But yeah, they are just worth all kinds of money. Even commons, I've seen some commons from Beta that are worth $200 or $300 each. Even in lightly played or moderately played condition, they're still worth that much. That's why, I mean, I even told the story to somebody a long time ago, and I said it's one of the biggest regrets I have, because even at the time, I had been collecting baseball and football cards. So I had the mentality of a collector. Yet I didn't have the foresight to think that this game would still be around all these years later. So I dumped them. Because let's face it, how many TCGs have come out that you know, they make a big splash, and then a year later, the game is dead. It's just completely dead. Or even if the game manages to stick around for a little while, it still can, you know, it can still die. Like one of the big ones that came out that was big for a few years. What is this? Once per turn, you can attack. Help card your deck from get rid. Negate the attack. Yes. One of the bigger ones that was around that got a big push was the World of Warcraft TCG. I have a ton of those cards, but the game is dead. And so those cards aren't even really worth the paper that they're printed on now because nobody wants them. Same thing with Versus, Marvel versus DC. That game it's a really great game, but again, it's dead. There's no support for it anymore, and I completely forgot to use my ability. There's no support for that game anymore. And so those cards, I mean, there is still some value for, you know, the Marvel and DC fans that kind of want just like, they want them just because they're collectible. That's really it. But beyond that, I would say 99% of the Versus cards that I have, and I have several thousand still in a box, most of them are worth maybe a nickel, maybe. The more expensive ones are worth a few bucks, but that's about it. Oh, man. But yes, throwing away all those Magic the Gathering cards, I don't think I'll ever get over it. Simply because there was just so much money there. But even then, well, I don't know. Because even now, as a collector, I'm actually a little hesitant to get rid of cards. Like, I could probably sell a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I have and make a really nice profit. Like, I could sell 5 or 6 of my cards and make $1,000 easy, just because they're worth that much now. But at the same time, if you sell now, and then 5 years goes by, and then you realize those cards have doubled in value, what should Atomic get with the ultra rare Dream Ticket? I would go with either Galaxy Cyclone or Cosmic. I would go with either one of those. If I had to pick, and I was new to the game and not knowing, and somebody advised me to get either one of those, yes, I would go for one of those. Good duel, sir. There, see, I played you with insects, and I didn't even get my effect. I didn't get to bring the queen out. But you got your rainbow dragon. You got the dragon, but I was able to handle it. That was a little weird for a while. Eduardo! I don't know who that is, but apparently Trax is going to go face them. A cheese play. And no, I did not top deck that enemy controller. I'd held that controller in my hand for like 3 turns. Because I thought, I might need this. So don't give me that, oh, you top deck. No, I didn't. I swear to you, I did not top deck that. You can go back and watch this replay. Make it a toon deck. Oh yeah, I forgot. They give us another Kuribo. Here we go. Let's cash in our Kuribo right now. Yeah, it's all the same stuff as before. It's just, you know, getting the prismatic version of it. I don't even know what card I would get. Because they're ultras and supers, right? Yeah, ultras and supers. I actually don't have that card, but I would never use it. I mean, there are a few cards here I think I don't have. Well, that's one. There's another one. Mystic Infinity. Visor Shock. In fact, I still have, if I'm not mistaken, I still have the one from my other Kuribo. Haven't used it. Revival Rose is actually a decent card. I actually don't mind that card. The only thing is that these, obviously, you can go farm them over at the gate. It's the only thing. So yeah, you can farm them. Trans Arcfiend. But I guess it's neat to have them as prismatics. Dark Verger. Electronic Map. Fighting Spirit. I still don't have any Toon Worlds. As many times as I farmed him, no frickin' Toon Worlds. Champion's Vigilance. Forgotten Temple. Skull Dice. Well, let's go spend some of these tickets because I've had them a while and it's time for some of them to, yeah. Well, this one I actually just got not that long ago. Let's see, what was the one card that I wanted from here? I'm pretty sure there was one. Okay, maybe there wasn't. These are rares, right? Yeah, they are rares. Well, I don't know what to get. Can you trade in this game? No, you cannot, Atomic. That's one of the biggest things that I have been advocating for a long time. But yeah, we were talking about it. For a while, we talked about it almost every week. But yeah, unfortunately, they will probably never implement trading in the game, which is really... Again, I've said it a million times before, I'll say it again. I understand why they don't do it, because the temptation for abuse is really there. Well, okay, here, I'll explain to you, Atomic, since you don't know. Here's the thing about Duel Links and why they don't do trading. The reason they don't do trading is because when you first start, if you're brand new to the game and you just downloaded it, that first couple of weeks that you play, gems just... You are showered with gems. And so it's really easy for you to get packs. But as the game goes on, the gems are harder and harder to come by. And so what some people do is they will make a second account, which costs you nothing. And then, of course, you know, when you start a new account, then you're showered with gems. And so now that they have played the game before and they know what boxes have the good cards, they will use those gems to get specifically those particular cards. So if you think of it that way, if you implement trading and don't put any rules behind it, there is no stopping anybody from going and starting multiple accounts again and again and again to get those free gems and then trade from one account to another the cards that they don't have. Like, say for instance, you have your main account. Like this is your main account. Okay, well, that's clear. This is your main account. Okay, and there are certain cards that you don't have that you really want on this account, but you've already wasted all of your easy to get gems. So what do? You go and you open up a second account. So then you take the gems, the easy gems you get from there, trade all the good cards you got here to this account, dump this account, then go and what do? You go and make another account. So now you got a third account, free gems, go trade them to this account again, and you do that just over and over and over again. Because there's no limit on how many accounts you can open, which is the biggest reason why they don't do it. Because there's like I said, the chances for people abusing the system are rampant, and there are ways to get around it, but I don't think they'll do it. Like one of the suggestions that I gave, I actually did a whole video on it, was my suggestion was you could only trade cards that you actually paid real money for. Like if I go and I buy, like if say I go and get 10 packs with gems, obviously those gems were acquired in the game just from playing the game, so those cards you get with those gems, you can't trade those. But if you go and spend $10 on packs, any cards you get from those packs that you got with that $10, mark those as tradable. And then, you know, that would kind of stop the whole abuse there. That was my suggestion. I even sent them the video and everything. I sent them, I said, here, this is an idea for Duel Links to add trading into Duel Links. Just mark all the cards that are purchased with real actual money as tradable and the others not tradable. That was my idea. Now, will they ever implement it? I don't know. I think it would be a great idea. I mean, because it kind of, to not have trading in a game like this is kind of ridiculous, seeing as how it is a trading card game. So when you get all these cards and you can't trade them, it's like, you know, because there are plenty of cards where I have multiples of. Like this guy. I got 4 tigers. What am I going to do with 4 tigers? You can only run up to 3, so the 4th one is just there. Now I know their whole thing is, oh, well, you can trade it in for gold and little tokens and stuff. I'm like, dude, I have 5 million gold. I don't need gold. I don't need tokens. It's just a waste at this point. So yeah. Yeah. Dan kind of put it in a nutshell right there. Unfortunately, this is what Dan says. Unfortunately, if there is a way to gain something from the system, people will go out of their way to exploit it. And that's pretty much what I was saying earlier, is that there are far too many avenues to exploit a trading system in a free-to-play game. Why can't you trade extra cards for gems? Because you can take those gems and then buy packs for them. They're never going to allow that. In fact, for a while, I don't know if you guys were around, but there was like 6 or 7 months ago, there was a big thing going down where they slowly but surely started taking gems out of special events and from the leveling of characters. Like level 30, one of the reason level 30 is a big deal for the characters is because all the old characters that we had, in fact, I'll show you. Like Weevil's an older character. Okay.
You're gonna be bug juice.
So when he hits level 30, he got 300 gems. So that's 6 packs. That's, I mean, it's not a massive amount, but it's, I mean, still 6 packs. So when these older characters like Weevil and Little Yugi, when they would hit level 30, they would get 300 gems. But at some point, when they started bringing in new characters, like say for instance, let me see, what's another one? Was this guy him? No. Oh, Yugioh is one of the newer, well, she's not really new, but she's newer. When she was brought out, and you got her to level 30, you didn't get gems, you got an ability. Which a lot of people did not like. People did not like that, because that's 300 gems. And you may think, oh, well, it's just 300 gems. No, 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 no. But then they did it again with Zane.
I will win.
Same thing here. Where we used to get 300 gems, now we got a card. And the crap thing about this is that at this point in the game, we already had this card. So all they did was give us a duplicate copy of a card that most people don't use. And it's like, well, why won't you give us 300 gems? No. They didn't do that. They changed that. And then the same thing here. To all the characters, every single character in 5Ds, level 30, you get a card. Now, some of the cards arguably are pretty good. Like, this one's actually pretty good. But still, some people would prefer that instead of level 30 giving us a card, that it gave us gems. And that this reward should have been placed somewhere else down here. So yeah, none of the 5Ds characters
Witness the king.
give you the 300 gems at level 30. None of them. That is a lot of gems to take out of the game. Because again, how many characters got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters times 300 gems. That's 2,100 gems. And then again, they're doing it with all the newer characters too. Every new character that came out since, I think it was since Yubel, all of them at level 30 no longer give you those gems. So people saw that and they started getting pissed. Then in all the events, people noticed that, like, 'cause, you know, the events will come and they'll go. Like the Jack event, this isn't the first time we've had Jack. Now, this is the first time we could get him and as a playable character, but we had a Jack event before. And imagine a Jack event that gave you overall, say, 700 gems. Well, the next time the event came around, you would think, oh, it's another 700 gems maybe. Well, no, they didn't do that. What they started doing is slowly they started taking those gems out. And they started doing that with all events from that point. And that's another reason why people got pissed. That, in fact, there was a huge thing going on, even on Twitter and on all the Facebook groups. They were like, I want my gems. And I didn't necessarily make fun of it. I thought it was kind of funny, to be honest. But, you know, I argued against it and I argued for it because, again, the whole idea was, well, gems are free and the game is free. But at the same time, when you condition all of your players, teaching them that they will get X amount of gems every single time, and then suddenly you take all those gems away, that's going to piss off a lot of people. And that's exactly what happened. And then I think a couple of months went by and nothing really happened, but they kept pushing the whole I want my gems thing. And then eventually Konami actually responded and they were like, we're sorry, you know, we apologize, you will see more gems. And they did it. It was actually really nice. They put more gems back in. Now, of course, the level up rewards are still crap, you know, as far as that level 30 slot, but the events do have more gems. Whereas they only had maybe a couple hundred gems, now they've got 300 or 400 gems, sometimes even more. Like, I think at the event before this one, was it? Yeah, it was the Trudge event. That one I think had over 700 gems that were acquirable. So that was pretty good. So they do listen, but yeah, there's just so many ways to abuse the system in a free-to-play game. But anyways, I'm done complaining about that.
This duel's about to hit the fast.
Let's do a couple more duels.
Atlas.
Let me see, who am I going to play? I don't think there's anybody else in the room that I haven't played yet. Let's see, go to the dorm. Atomic Ghoul! Atomic, here. I'm going to play you, Atomic, because I want you to see this deck. And the reason I want you to see this deck is because it's very easy to get. It's very cheap. It does take a little time because you have to get the cards from the card trader, and you can only get one copy of each card when it's available at a certain, you know, in certain intervals. But again, this deck, I think it's pretty fun, and it's also at least a little competitive. It'll probably get you to gold at least. Like if you were really worried about doing ranked duels and that kind of thing, I think if you learn it and play it well, this Arrow Mage deck can get you at least to gold. Yes, the Arrow Mage deck. This is exactly what I'm playing. But yeah, a lot of these cards, pretty easy to get, fairly inexpensive. And then you can use them with Aki's ability, which I'm using here, which makes it even stronger. And for those of you just coming into the room, I know there's a couple of people that joined us over on Twitch. We're playing fun decks, guys. Just so you know, fun decks, no meta decks, please. So just stick with your mostly fun decks and we'll be good. Okay. Well, this is an interesting start. I kind of want to do that just because I want it in the graveyard. I've got some defense. Let's do this. We'll do that first. After this match, Atomic, we'll show you what we mean by meta. Stop defense. Oh, crap. That's actually a really good play right now. Yeah, most people don't play that card, but that actually works really well for you. Oops. I'm not mad at you, Atomic. Play that way, dude. Do it. That was actually a really good move. I did not think you would play something like that. That works. And that's bad for me. Elemental heroes are not meta. And now, if you mean the masked heroes, like the Destiny Hero masked hero stuff, yes, that's that is a meta deck. It's like a tier 2 deck, I believe. Well, this is one of those cards like Stop Defense. It's one of the cards. It's like one of the first cards you get when you start playing. And like I said, when you're playing later on, when you've played like as long as I have, or as long as some of these other guys here in the stream have played, you just don't see that card very much anymore. Yeah, I gotta put that down. I'm sorry, I can't let you do that. But yeah, you just don't see that card very much anymore. So it was kind of, you know, I put the 19 Defender down there thinking, oh, well, even if he brings another monster, I could Floodgate it. And then if he attacks with that, it's a 19 Defender. I didn't think you would play Stop Defense. I was like, oh, crap. What is this? All right, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, I gotta do something. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. What the heck? I'll take the chance. Buster Blader. That Buster deck is actually really good. Oh, Enchanted Javelin! He gained. I took his monster, but he gained life points. Now, unfortunately, because you actually countered me pretty good when you took out my Jasmine, I haven't been able to get this deck going quite yet, and I still need one more card. If I can draw this one card, of which I have 3 copies, so I should be able to draw it, then you can kind of see what this deck can do. Huh. Let's see what I got here. I don't normally do this with this deck, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, it's kind of interesting because I could actually bring this out. She's pretty. Nah, let's do this. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this thing out. This is actually Aki's trump card. Yeah, the life point boost because it immediately starts you with the additional life points, which is nice. I'm just running it right now with Aki because of stuff like this. Let me see, what is her effect again? I don't even remember. When this card is summoned, you can destroy all cards on the field. No! You can banish one plant type monster here, then no special monster. Okay. There we go. Black Rose Dragon. Shiny. The problem there with just naming the deck types is that doesn't actually explain how a deck itself becomes meta. Because it's more than just saying, oh, well, the deck's good. Well, no, there's a little more nuance to it there. And that's what we're going to explain to here in a minute. Because, I mean, like, if I had only been playing this game a week and you ran that off to me, I'd be like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Dragon Treasure. There we go. Now I actually have more life points. But I still can't draw my freaking Aroma Garden. Yeah, cards themselves are not meta, but the deck can be. Although some people might argue that. Like, some could argue that if there was a listing for meta cards, that you could say Galaxy Cyclone is. Block attack! But I wouldn't call this card a meta card. I just call them staples. And usually staples, like I said, staples are cards that are usually good enough. They tend to be magics and traps that can slide into almost... Oh my god, what are you doing? That can slide into almost any deck and be useful. Man, I cannot draw my freaking garden. Here, we'll give you one more turn here, just so we can see what you're doing here with your deck. Yeah, you can. Well, just because they're the most used doesn't necessarily mean that they are good for every single deck. Like, Canadia, I would agree, is a good card, but I don't think it's good for every single deck that's out there. There are certain deck types that I would rather run something like Floodgate instead of Canadia. What do I have down here? Again, Primal, he may not even understand what Meta Weekly is. Are you serious? He bought himself another turn there. I kind of can praise the Enchanted Javelin. That's one of those cards that it came out way back in the day, back in Pharaoh's Servant for the TCG. And even then, it was still an interesting card. When Draining Shield came out, though, it kind of lost its luster. But given the fact that when this came out, it was just a common card, it was actually pretty good. Just because Duel Links meta tells us it's meta, I don't think that they are the be-all, end-all. They do offer, you know, good analysis, because I mean, it doesn't come from just one person. It comes from several people. But I think they at least give you a good... They will definitely point you in the right direction as far as what is the dominant deck type and that sort of thing. Pass the torch to me. Oh, that's cool. No, you're still offering good info. It's just, you know, like I said, there's a lot more nuance to it than just saying, oh, well, this deck is meta. Because, again, you have to remember, when somebody is just starting a game, you can use these... If you start using the terminology that we are familiar with as people that have been playing for a long time, and you hand that to them, they'd be like, I have no clue what any of this means. So here we go. We'll do this. Let's go. And hello, Edward. Let me see if I can find... Let's see. Give you a quick something here. Let me turn that off. Oop, not that. We'll do this. Dang it, Duel Links meta, you're annoying me. It's trying to force me to turn my ad blocking software off. Joke's on you, huh? I'm getting through anyway. There we go. Okay, I turned it off. What is your problem? I turned it off. It's like, we don't know. Anyways, let's see here. Fellows tournaments, tier list. Okay. Just to kind of give you an idea of what meta means. Basically, what meta in most cases means, a meta deck, by its own definition, is a deck that is overly dominant versus most of the other cards, I guess, in a game in itself. It is not... There is not any one singular meta deck. There are different tiers as well. Usually tier 1 is the most dominant deck out there currently, because cards change Ban lists change, limited, semi-limited cards change as well. And just to give you an idea, like here we go. This is what Duel Links meta is saying. The Kwakimeru deck, which just recently got here. It was not a tier 1 deck before, but it got a lot of support in one of the newer boxes, and so now it is considered the top tier, tier 1 meta deck. Again, tier 1 is the best, tier 2 is still really, really good, very, very competitive. Tier 3 is not the best, but still strong enough to where you will do really well within ranked duels. Anything that's not in the top 3 is technically not considered a meta deck. And as you can see here, the Kawaki deck is number 1. And then you've got your tier 2 deck, which is Buster Blader, Dan's favorite deck. Dan loves playing this thing. In fact, Dan, I think, said that he got King of Games with this deck like 2 seasons or in a row? 2 or 3 seasons? Karakuri, I actually have a hard time believing that this is true. Maybe I've just faced some really bad players. Because I've faced the Karakuri deck several times on my way through Platinum. And I never lost to it once. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Masked Heroes, that thing has been a top tier deck for a long time. It's a little expensive because Anki comes out of one of the 200 pack boxes, so he's really hard to get 3 of, and you definitely want 3. Again, I actually have that deck, but I won't play it against you in duel rooms because that's not fair. Vampires have been around for a few months now. It takes a little more skill to play this deck, and the cards overall, they can be a little hard to get. Sorry, Primal, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Primal. Masked Heroes is not going away. And I actually mentioned that in a different conversation. Now, here's something that Bosnian Beast over on Twitch is saying, and I actually have a rebuttal for this. He says, and I quote, "In Duel Links, any deck can be top tier if it play 3 of the best staples. You're going to start with a Treacherous Trapple, Canadia, Econ, etc. 9 times out of 10. Those cards mess up everything since in Duel Links, it's hard to recover after getting your monsters destroyed." I have a massive rebuttal for that. 1, Treacherous Trapple has its limitations because once a trap card is in your graveyard, it becomes useless to you in most cases. 2, enemy controllers are not nearly as strong as they used to be. 1, because they are now semi-limited, meaning that you don't see them in nearly as many decks as you used to. And on top of that, there are a lot of ways to get around enemy controllers now. In fact, there are a lot of decks out there that negate enemy controller. I mean, heck, try running that against a deck that includes or that runs Silent Magician. Good luck with that. It's probably not going to work. Canadia, like I said, while it is a good card, it is not without its own faults. Again, there are a lot of decks out there nowadays that can easily get past Canadia. Like, in fact, just the other day when I was playing I was playing a mirror match in ranked duels. I think it was Platinum 5 and my opponent was like Platinum 4. We were basically playing a mirror match, Masked Hero versus Masked Hero. They tried to Canadia me, and every single time I was able to get out of it just that easily. I was able, like, I'd bring out a Drill Dark, they'd try to Canadia it, and when I attack, I would chain with Mass Change. It's easy to get rid of it. If you plan correctly, and believe me, at this point, if you're in Platinum or in Legend, I would hope that you got there by learning from your mistakes and learning how these cards work and learning how to get past them. Plus, another thing that hurts these, at least the first 2 cards, the Treacherous Trap Hole and the Canadia, not so much the Canadia, but the Treacherous Trap Hole, is there's lots of Galaxy Cyclones, there's lots of Dust Tornadoes, there's lots of Cosmic Cyclones, and there's even Breaker. Tier 3, which we were going into. Tier 3 Breakers. Yeah. If you set Treacherous Trap Hole first turn and the first monster they bring out is Breaker, at the very least, if you do decide to activate it, you're going to lose your monster too. So, yeah, it's not as strong as everybody makes it out to be. So I hope that is a good enough rebuttal. Not saying that you make some good points because they are strong cards. Treacherous Trap Hole is a very strong card. But again, once you hit Platinum and Legend, at that point, most players are familiar with those cards, and they are going to know how to get by them. Can you help me make a deck with Dark Magician? Maybe. Dark Magician is meta. They destroyed Gray. That's not how it works. Okay, I gotta catch up on chat now. Hold on. That we're close to the meta. Okay. Canadian and Floodgate is still the best tech to have in most decks, though. Again, like I said, I agree that they are good cards. Canadian is a very useful card because of its 2 effects. But the thing, again, I'm harping on Floodgate here, and I actually, not Floodgate, but Treacherous Trap Hole. Anybody that runs Treacherous Trap Hole in a deck with more than 4 traps is doing it wrong. That's my personal opinion. Okay? That's my personal opinion. I know y'all will disagree, but that's the way it is. Show him free-to-play decks, Slim, like Aliens and Fur Hire. Oh, God, no. We are not showing him Fur Hires. No. Atomic, I forbid you to play Fur Hires. I forbid you. You will not get Fur Hires. No. Aliens, sure. Fur Hires, don't ever do that to him. Don't ever do that to the poor kid. No. But anyways, again, like I was saying, this is basically what meta means. It is the top decks that generally control Platinum and Legend. I don't include King of Games in that because King of Games is the highest you can get. And a lot of people, once they hit King of Games, they can still keep playing, obviously. But in most cases, they will switch to fun decks because even if you win or lose, you're not going anywhere. Once you hit King of Games, that's it. You know, the hard battle is in Platinum and in Legend. That's when you're going to see all the hardcore decks and people just really just trying to get through it all. And people keep making the joke about Tier 0. Just to give you an idea of what Tier 0 means, at least to my understanding, Tier 0 is kind of like, it's like a joke. It's like whenever somebody says, "Oh, it's a Tier 0 deck," that usually means the deck is not very good. It's not very good at all. And again, to kind of drill home the idea of what meta is, just because there is a particular deck type, there isn't any one singular build of that deck that is considered most dominant, simply because everybody plays a little bit differently. Like, there are probably at least 4 or 5 different versions of Masked Heroes. At least. I've played 2 of them, and I kind of found the one that I like the best. Vampires are actually pretty straightforward, though. I mean, you can change a few cards around in Vampires, but for the most part, they tend to stay the same. I'm not familiar enough with this deck to give any kind of opinion on it, so I'll have to leave that one alone. Dan is probably the best person to ask for Buster Blader. From what I've seen, his particular build that he uses is actually probably the best one. Control deck, again, that's kind of, there's not any one way to build that. And Kawaki Maru, there are several different builds for that particular deck, as far as I can tell. I still haven't completely finished mine, so I don't know. But that's your metas right there. In fact, hold on. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to build a meta deck. I mean, if a few months in, if you keep playing, a few months down the road, you may decide you want to get a bit more competitive, then maybe look at these decks. But hopefully by then you will have accumulated enough cards from the various packs that maybe you're able to build one of these. Or maybe even a deck that is maybe not necessarily on this list, but is still fairly good. And some of those decks tend to be stuff like Aliens. Aliens are cheap and they're good. Another good one is Arrow Mage, but again, I think it can only really get you to gold. If you try to play Arrow Mage in Platinum, you're going to have a bad time. There's a handful of others. Gladiator Beasts. I had a Gladiator Beast deck that I was using. It's a little slow, but it can work. I'm not the #1 authority on Gladiator Beast decks, so I don't really know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can make an amazing Gladiator Beast deck, but I mean, they're pretty basic as far as how you play them. But like I said, they can be a little slow. You're about to go off on Shadow Blaze. Why? If I can get called with Dark Magician, so can you, probably. Okay, Blaze. Here's the thing, Blaze. Not everybody, and this is something that I've been saying for probably 20 years. that I've been in various card games. Nobody plays the exact same way that you do. Is it possible that somebody else could take your Dark Magician deck and get to King of Games with it? Maybe. But to say that it is to say it isn't, it is something that will definitely happen is kind of short-sighted. Simply because, like I said, everybody has their own different play styles. Like, one story that I actually always, or that I've said several times, is when Amazons were big, somebody kept telling me that I had to run Amazons with 10 monsters. That was it. That's how the deck was. And they're like, you got to play it with 10 monsters. And so I did that. And I was losing all the freaking time. And I was like, I don't understand. They're like, well, you're just playing it wrong. I'm like, I'm playing it exactly how you're telling me to. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just kind of mess around with it and do something a little on my own. So I changed it up a little bit. I took out one trap and I added in an additional monster. And suddenly it worked. Just from that point on, it worked. And I was winning again and again and again. So just that one little change. And I did change the way I played the deck, because they were telling me to play it a certain way. I played my way and it worked. So to say that anybody could certainly go and take a deck and just immediately get to King of Games with it is kind of Is pushing 50. No. By the time I'm 50, I won't be able to walk. I'll be like, oh. But somebody left me a big message over on Twitch. I need to read that real quick. Hold on. Let me back up my messages here a bit. Let's see. Oh, it's Bosnian again. He said, I said start. If you go first and do your primary play with getting a big monster out, if you run all these big cards and your opponent doesn't have a Cosmic Cyclone that is able to remove it, there's more than just one particular type of card that can remove, and Cosmic's not the only one. Your opponent will have a hard time dealing with that. Come from the TCG, and it's a lot different. Yes, I started playing the TCG in 2001, good sir. So, believe me, I know all about it too. You have a lot of resources which allow you to play against much stronger cards than Canada, but you are limited in Duel Links, starting with only 4 cards and having 20 card deck. That's it. That's if you play an actual 20 card deck. Some people don't. But I actually do agree with you on the starting with 4 cards and not being able to draw. I actually got on Konami big time about that. And I was sending them mean, ugly tweets and everything. But I will agree that in Duel Links, be it in the digital game or on the new speed dueling that they're doing, I think starting with, like, the person that goes first, you start with 4 cards and not being able to draw like you actually do get to draw in the TCG, I think that is a huge design flaw. Because I've seen people that go first and they once you get, because basically if you go first, you're already 1 card behind. Yeah, you get to go first and you get to set your magics and traps and your monsters and all that, but your opponent gets to draw a 5th card, so already you're 1 card behind. And I remember in the TCG, that was one of the big things, is that when it came to the destruction of cards and drawing and all that, drawing was a huge thing in the TCG, like with Pot of Greed, Charity, and all those cards. Obviously, we don't have those in Duel Links, so being able to get ahead of your opponent when it comes to cards is a big deal now. And by the person that goes first, by them not getting to draw, puts them at an immediate disadvantage. And I gotta tell you, man, I can't think of anybody that likes going first in Duel Links. I mean, I don't like it. I know several of y'all have mentioned to me that you don't like it, but it's one of those things where it's like, what can you do about it? Obviously, at this point, I don't think they're going to change it. They might, but it's been 2 years, so I don't know, man. It's rough, dude. I think it's BS that they don't change that. The TCG got it right. I really do think they got it right. Let's see, Dan. What are you telling these kids, Dan? Having a meta deck doesn't mean success. That is very true. You need to know the deck you are playing. In the TCG, everyone is playing a $900 deck, but there is only one winner and only one skill sets them apart. I'm actually not familiar with the decks they're playing in the TCG. For those of you who aren't familiar, who have not watched any of my other shows, I actually used to be, not only did I start playing in 2001, but I was a tournament organizer, and I was actually a judge for a long time. I got to level 2 judging, and I judged several regionals. I'm talking 45 regionals, something like that, all over Texas. Even went to Louisiana a few times. I also judged like 5 or 6 of the Shonen Jump championships. So yes, I'm very, very familiar with the TCG. I'm familiar with the cards. I've got literally tens of thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with the TCG, but I stopped judging back in like 2007, 2008, somewhere around that time. And unfortunately, since then I moved. I used to live in Austin, Texas. Now I live further south, and unfortunately there's no card games. there's no card shops in my area, so it sucks. So how about that Dark Magician deck? Oh my god. Dan, didn't you have a good Dark Magician deck? I think Dan had one. Hold on, I'm going to change this out. I'm going to put the chat back up there too. I think Dan had one that he showed me at some point. Also, it being a coin flip is a joke. Like, really? Can't it even be scissors, stone, paper? Well, I mean, even that, Sam, is... I mean, it's a chance either way. Be it 3 options or 2 options, one way or the other, it's you know, it's 50-50. It's RNG at that point. It's like, I mean, tossing a coin. You toss a coin 100 times, and in most cases, you're going to end up with 50 heads, 50 tails. In most cases, not every single one, but in most cases. But Dan, if you got all the cards for it, I personally think you do, but you got to have the patience, especially when you're a legend. Dan, you're not a legend. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Let me jump back into the game here. Okay. So somebody was talking about Dark Magician. I'm not big on Dark Magician decks. Even the deck that I run. Oh, let me switch to Arcana real quick. I have a Magician deck. It's an older one. I haven't messed with it much lately. Let me switch over to it. But it was like a Dark Magician Girl deck that I built for fun. And it's a fun deck, but it's not ridiculously competitive at all. Obviously, as you'll see here. What do you mean room ID? Did you lose the room ID? But here's the Dark Magician deck. Or it's Dark Magician Girl, I'm sorry, not Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl. Excuse me. And interestingly enough, it actually does all right. I mean, like I said, it's not super competitive, but it does okay. Got a couple of breakers in there, a couple of Chow Lens, Legion Fiend. I just threw in the Delta Flyer just for synchros. Gemini Elves, Galaxy, Dark Burning Attack. I actually leveled up Taya just for that stupid card. 2 controllers, Drowning, Widespreads, a couple of Walls, a couple of Magician Circle. Yeah, 22 cards. Like I said, it's not meant to be competitive. And even then, Master of Magicians is obviously not the best option. It's just that I don't really have a lot of stuff that works with Arcana, and I just happen to throw the deck on there. All the decks that hit COG are meta. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I have seen some people hit... I've seen some people hit COG with non-meta decks, but to be completely fair, they are the exception. They are not the rule. It's not normal, you know, for people to take, say, a Dark Magician deck and get to King of Games. Is it possible? Yes, I've seen people do it. But let's just be honest here. You know, you're most likely not going to see many people getting to King of Games with a Dark Magician deck. It can happen, but it's not the norm. What are you talking about? Used to suck. I still suck at this game, dude. I can't play this game. I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible at this game. Here, I'll prove to you how terrible I am.
I'll teach you to stay out of the waters.
I'm gonna take this freaky fish guy. I'm gonna go play a rank duel. That's right, everybody line up. I'm gonna wank you. You're gonna what? Master Darts. I'm gonna wank you. Mermail SSA, dude. SSA is just once they get that combo going, it is so hard to recover. It doesn't even have to be Mermail. Like I've seen the one that's a little more basic SSA, where it's the Citadel Well and it's the Abyss Soldiers and stuff like that. Once they get SSA out, it can be very hard to recover. Simply because they can save SSA. Oh my god, it's Kowalki. Simply because it's so hard to get past it once they've got that combo going. Look at that. Legend 1 and I'm already facing a Kowalki deck. Oof, this is gonna suck a little. If they don't put any backfield, let's see how this works. Already a 2000 attacker, okay. He's gonna end the turn. No? Oh, okay. Celestial. Okay, I can probably work with this. Hold on. I win! Yeah, as soon as he ended and he had no backfield, I was like, I got this. Just in case you all were wondering what I was going to do, I was swinging, purposely attacking first to take out his spell card, cause 500 damage, then chain to that effect the mask change, dump the Celestial, bring out Anki, then just Anki effect, Anki, and just, yeah. That's all I was going to do. There you go. So, there you go. That's how you get past Kowalki. I'm just kidding. That's not... But, yeah, if... The interesting thing about that hand that I had, if I would have gone first, I still probably would have been okay. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Over on Twitch. But yeah, that's the thing about Legend is I know in Legend I'm gonna face tons of hardcore meta decks, so I just yeah. Go for Legend 2. Nah, I'm not doing this in this show. The show is already getting a little long as it is. I've already been on for over 3 hours, dude. So yeah, this show's getting a little long here. Oh, that's right, and I forgot I took some chicken out. I gotta go cook that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Pick a gift campaign. But here, I'll duel one more in the duel room, and we'll see where we're going from there. Should I do just like the spin the wheel thing? Here, I'll spin the wheel here. I'll even close my eyes. See? And we're gonna be playing with. Okay, is that Bones or is that Roba? I'll let you all pick Bones or Roba, because it's in the middle. I mean, it really is pretty much down the, you know. Bones or Roba, which one am I playing? And nobody says anything. They're like, nah, we don't know. Yeah, Legend is tough, man. Legend is not for the faint of heart. Coming from somebody who lost 10 times in a row. 10 straight losses from Legend 2 on my rank up duel all the way down to Legend 1. 10 straight losses. I kind of wear that as a badge of pride, really, simply because, like, you know, when you think things are going well. Well, most people said Bones. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Well, hold on. I don't know. Dre, what are you doing, Dre? Dre said Bones twice. Well, I've already chosen Bones. So we're going to face... Let me see. If Trax is there, I'm going to face him. I don't think he's there, though. So I get to wait. Well, here's the thing, though, is that my chat is not delayed nearly as much as it used to be. I used to purposely put a 10-second delay. I've actually knocked it down to 2 seconds now. Arcana. Oh, I don't even know what this deck is. I don't know what I have on this deck for Bones. So I really don't know what I'm playing. I apologize if it's a meta deck. If it's a meta deck, I'll quit and I'll get something else. Okay, this is not a meta deck. I know what this is. Oh god, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that happens, man. And again, one of the things I point out to people is that you can do everything right and still lose 10 in a row. I didn't do anything wrong. I made no mistakes. And I still lost that many in a row. It was dirty. It was just completely dirty. I already screwed up. It was just like, dang, man. It's like, you know, I mean, when you lose 10 in a row and you don't do anything wrong, it just so happens that they get the better hand. All you can really do is just like... You didn't choose the person I wanted to use. Oh, I'm already in trouble here, so... Yeah, and the thing is, this particular deck doesn't do well against bigger monsters. It just doesn't. If it's able to prevent them getting... It can prevent them getting to the field, but since you went first, it was a little harder. Nice football game. Did you win? Football game. I was actually going to do another one of those Tecmo Bowl videos. Oh, are you serious? Yeah, I'm in trouble. I've already lost. There's nothing I can do here. That was probably the worst draw I could have gotten here. It was just the worst draw. I was going to do another Tecmo Bowl game, but I got distracted yesterday and ended up not doing it. Yeah, I'm in trouble now. There's really not a whole lot I can do. Trax took a chance there, though, by immediately bringing out the Witch Raider, not even getting any benefit for it. You don't have to change, that's fine. Well, flying by the seat of my pants here now. This is all I can do now. I can just keep setting monsters. Because if I remember correctly, there is no one card in this deck that's going to save me. If I remember exactly what the deck is. Another Witch Raider. Oh, get out of here. You know what was weird, though? I kept saying Bo Jackson. But then I went back and I looked at the stats and I realized, wait a minute, that wasn't even Bo Jackson. That was Marcus Allen. It was frickin' Marcus Allen. And I was like, really? Who starts? I mean, no disrespect to Marcus Allen. He was a great running back. But Marcus Allen or Bo Jackson, come on. Bo Jackson in his prime, you don't start Marcus Allen over Bo Jackson. You just don't. He was in the game. Bo Jackson was the second running back. So he did get a couple of catches. But he didn't run the ball. But, you know, I guess maybe that's why they didn't break nearly as many as I thought they were going to. Because when it's Bo Jackson, I mean, he is ridiculously overpowered in Tecmo Bowl. He's ridiculous. Aw, he left. Oh, there you are. Here, I'll play with a different deck now. Just in case. I think Trax switched to a different deck here. We'll do this now. But yeah, he was... Bo Jackson in Tecmo Super Bowl is ridiculous, dude. Him and Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, I mean... Like, if you play... Like, I've played a few times. I remember playing with the Lions back in the day. And Barry Sanders is one of those players... Well, he will carry your team to the playoffs. Now, once you're in the playoffs, it's a little harder because you need to do more than just run the ball. But, but he's pretty damn awesome. Barry Sanders is amazing. Gotta think another team. Like, if you want to get to the playoffs, I know this immediately. If you want to get to the playoffs in Tecmo Super Bowl, play the 49ers. The 49ers are stacked. Just absolutely stacked in that game. They've got Joe Montana, they got Jerry Rice, they got Roger Craig. They have an amazing defense. It's not even fair. It's pretty amazing. Let's get past that here. Come on, Trax. Trax is like, really? The one monster that screws that deck over. He's like, really? That was, in case you all don't know, that was Dark Trax's counter fairy deck, which it stacks a lot of counter traps. And yeah, Jinzo. Once Jinzo's on the field, it's very hard for him to come back.
The one and only psychic duelist.
Now, there might have been other cards in there that he could have used. I was actually kind of surprised because is there not a counter trap card that you have that can negate his summoning? Well, maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm thinking of Solemn Judgment. And I know we don't have Solemn Judgment, but I don't know. I can't remember them all. I think Solemn Judgment is the one that counters summonings, but we don't have it in the game. And not Solemn Scolding. That's a different one. Solemn Judgment is, there's like a whole series of Solemn cards, like Solemn Judgment, Solemn Scolding, Solemn other stuff. I don't remember. But, you know, I've been on for over 3 hours. I think I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all for joining us today. Pretty successful show, man. We actually had a good number of viewers at one point. So thank you all for joining me today, even though some of y'all kicked my butt. And in return, I kicked some of y'all's other butts. It's still fun. I'll probably be back tomorrow, man, and we'll do this again. But again, if you've not signed up, make sure you all get signed up for the tablet giveaway. If you're on Twitch and on YouTube, the link is down in the description. Join us over in Discord. I'm usually on Discord in most cases. I guess until tomorrow, guys, take it easy, have fun, and save your gems.